Dayseeker, and I'm super psyched to have you guys on the WDHA Rock the Rock Fest 2024 bill for Prudential Center. We are like 50 some odd days away from the show. It's so hard to believe. It's Thursday, April 25th, and it's you guys and Stained and Seether and the Struts and Aaron Jones, and we've got a great VIP with Tim Montana and Plush, and Aaron's playing that as well. So I like to call this show like there's like a party, and then there's the party, and then there's the party. It's like a huge party time, and super psyched to have you guys on with us.
Yeah, we're very excited to be a part of it. Definitely, I know, including this show and just a lot of the other shows we have with Stain are definitely going to be some of the like bigger shows of our career. So we're very fortunate to be a part of it.
And Jersey loves you guys. You guys have always had a great fan base and super success in the great state of New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't really know when that happened because I definitely remember playing to like 50 people in Jersey like 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, there was a point a few years ago where I don't know, it's just like every time we played Jersey and like I think the last time we played was in Asbury Park, and
Yeah.
man, it was just like one of my favorite shows of the tour. Just a great
Crowds
crowd.
get
Yeah.
bigger and people get more passionate about, the bands on the bill, and we always do well with heavier bands and metal bands. I want to talk to you a little bit about this too, because what I see for you guys is evolution. I'm not a pigeonholer, and especially when I see bands growing. So you guys have this super loyal fan base. Super loyal fan bases are amazing. I'm going to say this. You don't have to say this. I'm going to say this, but it can be a double-edged sword sometimes because the fans get so immersed in your band and what you are doing. And then you start to see bands evolve and say, look, we did this here. And now I think we're going to do this here. And sometimes it's appreciated by the super loyal fan bases. And then other times, the super loyal fan bases always feel that they know what you should be doing. I've seen you guys now 5 records in, not making the same record 5 records in, which I think is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Yeah, it is something where I think as long as we stay true to our hearts and just true to like what we feel is good music, that it'll carry over in the way that we want it to. Because truthfully, we had a record called Sleep Talk a few years ago that felt like our first like real taste of commercial success, and it was the starting point of like better things for our career. And then we wrote the album Dark Sun after it, and I really thought that Dark Sun was like an evolution, but I thought that people would still like it. And yeah, you just see like I saw a decent amount of like some negativity about the album, and it was something I tried not to get too immersed in, but it's funny because you're paying attention to like 5 or 10 different people's maybe like not so nice comments online, but
Well,
at the
the five
time we
or
were
10 out
on.
of the 300 are the ones that always, that's what everybody hits.
Yeah,
Those are the ones
yeah.
I'll gravitate towards that too. I'll get one email from somebody who's pissed about something and, 500 from people who've had, and I'm like, what is going on? And well, but see, I think this is the beauty of art though, because you talked about Sleep Talk, and that was a record that was dare we say it, for lack of a better phrase, fan favorite. As you said,
Mhm.
that was one that sort of catapulted you into this different area of your career. And I think it's great that you don't make that record again and that you
Totally.
evolve and
Yeah.
make a bigger record. You sort of look at the evolution of bands like Metallica, where people would say, "Oh, they're selling out because like they cut their hair or something," and it's like, well, how is that selling out? And I think it was Lars or somebody said, "Yeah, we're selling out. We sell out every place that we're going to now," and I think that that's what bands do. I think the beauty of being a band is you want to grow that fan base. As you said, we used to go and play to 50 people. Now we don't play to 50 people. Now you guys are playing Prudential Center. That's sort of the reason why you get in to do your art, to bring it to as many people as you possibly can.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just kind of just trusting the process. And I was talking to my buddy Cody from Wage War about this because I feel like he and I just experienced the same thing where it's like you hone in on this really small group of people that maybe have something that's not great to say about your new music, but then you look at the proof in the pudding of like our band's career has just been on a great trajectory over the last couple of years. And I'm like paying attention to these like 2 kids on Instagram who are saying like the album sucks, and it's like, obviously, I mean, everybody has their opinion, right? But I mean, the proof is there that myself and the guys are able to make a living off playing music, and the shows get better, the crowds get bigger. So just gonna do what we think is best for us, and hopefully people will kind of follow along with us, you know?
I love the album. I think it shows such growth in the band. I think it shows such growth in the songwriting. I mean, look, rock and roll is storytelling, no matter how you're telling your story. And I think that the songs that you're writing, wowza. I mean, you look back on even the
Thanks.
last record that was the fan favorite, that everyone loved. I think the storytelling is going to a new it's going to definitely a new level. I want to talk about this tune that's doing so well for you guys now. And Dream State is, it's coping with loss. And who hasn't coped with loss? Whether it's at this point in your life or, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, there's a impactful message to this song. There's a grieving process in it. And yet there seems to be a light too that you get to, with this song. So if people aren't familiar with it, talk to me about your process in putting this song together.
Yeah, Dream State is a part of an album called Dark Sun, and a good chunk of that record was just about kind of my experience with my father passing away after a very, very long battle from cancer. And Dream State specifically was kind of targeting it on this a period of time after he passed where I was having these like really vivid dreams of him, and there were just times where it felt like we were actually kind of communicating, or it's like times where you just kind of wake up in a frenzy of like, oh my God, I think he's like still alive. I don't know. It just kind of messed with like I think my process in accepting reality and accepting that he was gone. But also kind of like looking forward to dreaming sometimes because it felt like that was the only time him and I would get a chance to reconnect. But yeah, definitely. I mean, like, kind of leaning into what you said is I think that that song and a lot of that album is for people who have suffered like a significant loss in losing somebody too soon. But it was a very cathartic process, and it's definitely one of my favorites off the record. So I'm happy it's getting its day in the
Oh my
sun.
gosh, so is. And when I heard it for the first time, and I'm in the same situation with you, losing a parent like that, and I could so connect with everything that you were saying. Then the video came my way, and I love the video. It's beautiful. You feel like you're in a dream state. Like I think, sometimes you watch a video and you really feel like there's a connection with the video and the song. That's how you know you've made some good work and done some good work. And I certainly felt that. And every process of listening to that song for me picked up something new. I mean, it's such an amazing piece of work and an amazing, well, this whole record is an amazing piece of work. And you talked about the journey. So it is in parts really a concept record, kind of.
To a degree, I mean, I feel like a lot of my songwriting for Dayseeker is just things that have gone on in my life. But I mean, half the record is about my father, and I think I really only plan to write like one song about him, and then I kind of realized that it was too hard to compact the experience of like losing somebody into one song. So we ended up writing like half the album about it. But yeah, it's just a lot of different stories kind of what I was going through at that point in my life. But definitely my losing my dad was probably like the biggest thing like at that time.
Yeah, yeah, and look, concept records are great when they come from a place of where they should come from. Not everybody should make Pink Floyd's The Wall, but when we do get a
Yeah.
concept record, I still want young music fans to grow up knowing how important it is to follow the journey of a record or the storytelling or the sequencing, where you're going, no, this song should go after this song, or I think that this song should lead and this song should close the record. There's still such a relevance for that, I think, in music. And again, not everybody should be doing it, and it shouldn't be on every record. But I think when you feel inspired, when I heard that on this record, because I felt like when I listened to it, I kind of took a journey with you. And I
Yeah.
think that's a brave, it's always a brave thing to do.
Yeah, I think we were pretty intentional with the track listing because the like the second to last track is a song called Parallel, and it's kind of about like my experience with my dad in hospice before he passed, which was probably like it's probably the saddest song on the record. And then the last song on the album I wrote about my daughter and kind of about how
Yes,
that's like,
exactly. It
yeah,
almost comes full circle. Well, because
yeah,
you did have beauty in it's such a life is such a bizarre thing at times because you have the dark, it's like a darkness and light journey on this
yeah,
record, and you had so much darkness, but then of course you had the light of being a dad, which is a mind blower. You're losing your dad and then you're becoming a dad, and it's sort of all at the same time, and that song kind of encapsulates this whole journey on this record. And that's why when I talk about, I think, the impact that this is having on you guys as a band, I want to make sure it doesn't get lost on fans or doesn't get lost on people who may not know the band yet. And this is such an important record, and for you. And I think those three people that maybe were like, why isn't it Sleep Talk Part 2? They're going to come
yeah.
around and realize that it's not Sleep Talk Part 2 because your band and you are in this place now. And that's what music's all about.
Yeah, I think to be fair, yeah, it's like it's kind of what you were saying initially about like your loyal fan base is I think some people have an expectation of like what they expect to hear from you, and so if you kind of stray from that, I think their initial gut reaction is to be like, oh, I don't like the, and then but it's funny because I saw so many people like a couple months later and be like, you know, I actually listened to it. It's a pretty good record. It's like they like needed a second to kind of take it in. Or truthfully, I think it is just an album that people appreciate more if they have actually suffered like a serious loss in their life. But it is to your point again, kind of something that I tried to end it on. It's a dark album, so I tried to make sure that I ended it on a note about my daughter so that there was some feeling of resolve or yeah, like a light at the end of a tunnel, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a storytelling journey. It's beautiful. And the music is incredible. I mean, you guys are really, really putting it out there. So you have this is a busy time for you. So talk a little bit about, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but next record, writing it, inspirations for it.
Yeah, we have well we actually are putting out an acoustic album in like
Ah,
mid April.
oh,
So
fantastic.
that'll be cool. Yeah, kind of a different sort of a different arena for us. And then we have been writing for our next release. So I think we're maybe thinking of doing like two like split EPs. So instead of like one full length, just because it is I do agree it's good to like have like full length and have people, you know, be able to listen to the story of an album. But we also do live in this like new world of like I think it's like hard to retain some people's like attention spans for like
Return on
10 full
attention is
songs on an
getting tougher
album.
and tougher and tougher because all we ever
Yeah.
do is this. Bing, 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 bing. We've got to
Yeah.
scroll through life like there's
Yeah.
no tomorrow. So, yeah, I think it's brilliant. And I love that you guys are doing acoustic too, because look, a good song is a good song is a good song. And you strip it down or you amp it up or you metal it up. And look, I think you guys started off as having this kind of reputation as being a metalcore-ish type band. And I think you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
are taking this journey in different directions right now and not being afraid to show that, like, look, we're a rock band and we're fitting into a bunch of different areas here, and we don't want to be boxed into one spot.
Yeah, I think it's just as the guys and myself have gotten older too, our taste is just like we're not as into like super crazy heavy metal. And so I think we're trying to embrace these more like softer pop sides of our band. And I think we've been shining that through on a lot of our last releases. But the acoustic thing was just fun because it was just we just basically it was just rewriting of songs that have already come out and just like kind of tweaking them a little differently and just stripping them back to like an acoustic and a vocal. And it came out really cool. I'm very, very proud of it.
Yay, that's exciting. Super, super, super exciting. And so looking forward to having you on our WDHA Rock the Rock Festival. And it's so cool. I feel like I've known you for like ever.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean crazy nice venue. So I'm happy we get a
Yeah,
chance to play it.
we are gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a cocktail. We're gonna have hang out with Dayseeker. It's gonna be great. You guys have to come over to our broadcast table too. Day of show. We start our live broadcast usually at 2 in the afternoon. So please come on over, hang out with our staff, and as they start to let some of the VIP listeners in and everything, we'd love to have you guys come on over for an interview and hang out and give you a big old hug in person and say welcome to Jersey and welcome to DHA's Rock the Rock Fest.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't wait.
Yay. Rory, thank you so much for taking some time with me. I so appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And we'll
Appreciate you,
see you in
Terry.
Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, baby.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys there.